Okay, this morning the Prime Minister was standing firm on staffing cuts for the so-called teal independents and crossbenchers. That was this morning. Good on him, I thought. I mean, let's remember, this mob have only just hit the Parliament and they've been whining about needing even more of an entourage to keep them company while walking around the corridors of power before they've even got there. All right, it's only partially true. I've got to admit, being an independent or a crossbencher means you do need some additional resources in order to scrutinise legislation and help you navigate, what's going on around you. But they've already got so much at their disposal. They get 4 personal staff for their electorate office, plus they get some casual relief staff, plus they've been offered 1 additional advisor position, which is a highly paid position, to assist in their deliberations. They also have the benefit of government and opposition perspectives, right, as the lobbying comes in and the research and the marketability. They've got lobbyists they can talk to about things. They've got the research facilities of the Parliamentary Library. And, maybe, just maybe, they could do a bit of their own thinking rather than just talking platitudes and cliches about how they're going to save the planet, even though no one else is doing anything about it. One of the things I'm going to be most interested in is how many of them actually start having their new employees dutifully follow them around the Parliament House as they do the most basic things. You see, this is always a giveaway for the newbie politician or the narcissist politician. Sometimes they're the same. They instantly become so important that they seem unable to function unless they have an advisor with them every single moment. It's quite something to behold, I've got to tell you. It's as if they're scared of being alone or having someone not recognise them while they have to get their own coffee, or they haven't got someone to talk to while pretending they're so important. Anyway, I've got a couple of observers who are going to be reporting on who's the most affected community representative this week. I'll hope to report back to you on my regular show on Friday night. But just go back to the staffing for a second. If you were still under the illusion that the teals, for example, were actually independent, maybe this bit of information will help clarify things for you. Apparently, they're meeting with the Prime Minister tomorrow to discuss a pool of additional resources that can be used by all of them. Just like the Greens Party get for having the required 5 members that are required to have party entitlement status. But independents aren't parties. That would suggest they're going to act collegiately and they're going to vote together. Well, I don't know how many times during the election I heard some of these new members say that that wasn't going to be the case. They assured us they weren't a political party and they were true independents. Well, I think this is a case of action speaking far louder than words. Unfortunately, the PM's actions have also belied his words. Here's what he told Sky News this morning.
I believe that crossbenchers should receive additional support, which is why we've allocated 1 additional staff member on a personal staff level at a higher pay than electorate officers for members of the crossbench, and for some members, including the senators, will have more work, and in recognition of that, a range of crossbenchers who approached me and I had discussions with will all receive an additional 2 staff on top of their electorate officers.
All right, let's unpack that for just a second. The Albanese government does not need additional votes apart from his own Labor people to get through the House of Representatives. So, the workload of these teal independents is not extra at all because they can't affect the outcome. And in the Senate, well, unless the coalition's supporting Labor, they only need the work of the Greens plus David Pocock, who is a Green as well, in order to get stuff through. No other permutation allows them to get through. So why is he throwing highly paid new positions as we lurch toward a $2 trillion national debt at people who can't affect the outcome in the national parliament? It beggars belief. The Prime Minister has crumbled before Parliament has even begun. I reckon that's likely to show the shape of things to come for this whole election period. However, despite the capitulation by the Prime Minister, it's still not good enough for those with the snout in the teal trough. They still want you to pay for 2 more glorified personal assistants to accompany them on their journey through public life. At this rate, we can only hope that all of them, or maybe with the exception of Di Lee, who of course got rid of KK, are a bunch of one-term wonders. We can't afford any more of